Stampede. I'm thrilled to be engaged. I feel like a guinea pig amongst hamsters. But I have to be honest with you all, I don't care about my wedding. I've gotten a lot of questions about this. Where's it going to be? Is it a destination? When? I actually don't care. I'm just happy and in love. I've never dreamt about stressful wedding planning. Here are 3 P's that I do dream about. Pineapples, Pilates, and peace. Peace does not include people coming out of the woodworks asking for a wedding invite, or receiving demands on when to plan my own wedding around someone else's schedule. To me, peace is resting with knowing I found my best friend.
And for a while, I didn't think God would ever send him to me, okay? Because I have high standards, and there is a supply and demand issue in regards to dating in this country. I see a large amount or supply of unhealed people who are still in contact with their exes. They are being, what class? Messy. But not in a good way, not in a cute way. Like, they're hurting people who want to get involved. Those people who are part of the small demand of healed people who wanted a real connection. They worked on themselves while they were in the waiting season, you know what I mean? And you know what? That is not fair. Why should they settle? I know I didn't. It can be very frustrating waiting on God's timing. My sponsor, BetterHelp, will help connect you with a therapist who can find you answers to all of these questions. Let me just scooch over here with the ambiance. So you'll take this questionnaire and you'll match with a therapist in as little as a couple of days. If it's not a right fit, you can easily switch therapists at any time at no additional cost. They carefully make sure that the therapists on the platform are well qualified, plus their customer support team is there to help you if you have any questions. And I truly have been a happy customer with BetterHelp. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.5 rating on Trustpilot, what's not to like? And as a proud therapy user, I concur that therapy helps in many areas like work stress, family issues, and much more. Get started on BetterHelp by clicking the link in the description, or just go right here to betterhelp.com/stamps and you'll get 10% off your first month of therapy. I want sushi. Let's go get sushi together. And you know what? I'm gonna rant in my car. While I'm at it, I'm going to rant because that's what I do best. That's how a lot of you found me. And I will never forget my humble beginnings. Thank you, God, for getting me away from that man with the baby kids.
Many of you have asked where I met my fiancé and sis. How can I find someone like him? Well, I can't teach gang, okay? But I will say this. Have you ever been walking around late at night and you see someone kind of sketchy at the corner, which makes you cross the street and go the other way? That type of aversion is what I have towards men with victim mentality. They always have a look, okay? And they say a lot of phrases like, my mom had to work so hard. She sweat every day and night to support us. Or something like, oh, you're going on a coffee date with your friend? I bet you're gonna cheat on me. Oh, you're going to Target? You're gonna find someone better than me. Stampede, it's really all about context, because not every single one of these questions being asked has an ulterior motive. But let me tell you something. When I was on Hinge and a man would match me and the first thing he asks is, what do you do? I said, my best. Listen very closely. I hate the heat. I hate summer. I'm an ice princess. R.I.P. Michelle Trachtenberg. I'm an ice skater, but I'm here because none of that stuff I mentioned exists here. In Miami, we're living in the real world. Men come here, they flee other countries where they have real-time oppression and crazy stuff happening. They come here with nothing and they find a way. They will find a way because they are built different. My man is American. But again, I got the last chapter out of Nam. It's true. I think I might have gotten the last good one. The reason I know is because he supports my dilly-dallying, eating alone, writing my book idea in the sun, and reading popular books in the sun in my yellow skirt. And I'm not talking about the bare minimum respecting my alone time. I mean, he actively wants me to take on these side quests and live my own life. But we are certainly a healthy unit. We are each other's best friends, and hey, it works out since we both hate people.
My fiance and I share the same disdain for most of humanity and small talk and, the general silly human interactions that don't satisfy me. And thank God we also share the same disdain for wedding culture. I think it's a scam. I don't like weddings. I've never been into weddings. Is that a crime? Because apparently it is. People think this is really weird. So I'm gonna sit here and try to regain my middle splits from my rhythmic gymnastics era and talk to you about this. Because I know someone in the Stampede understands this. Like, let's be real. Like, are you really over the moon if you're engaged? I'm happily engaged. But I think it's a little weird. Like, I think it's odd. Let me pause. Let's back up here. If you're watching this and you're like, wow, Kelly Stamps, you're a hater. Yeah, I am. Like, full force. I love that about me. It's not up to me. It's in my DNA, quite literally. As an ISTJ, we feel misunderstood. I think any like aspy kind of girl would get this too, or anyone who's just like neurodivergent, whatever. We all share the same kind of characteristic. But if you presented me like with a lotto ticket that said like $5 million and you handed it to me, I'd be like, yay. Like, I just don't have big reactions. I'm not the type of person to be bawling, crying over stuff. I've never been like super excited about my wedding. I'm very excited about my marriage. The fact that I trust my fiance makes me really happy. Like, I am over the moon over Mr. Kelly Stamps himself, not the wedding part. In fact, it makes me really uncomfortable. The thought of having people stare at me as I say my vows, like, aren't they supposed to be private? It's weird. I don't want to be like, hi, how are you? Who, what's your name? At my own wedding. Like, it is supposed to be, you know, this big day again. It's all about you, you know, and your husband. Why would I want to be saying, hey, hello, what's up to someone I've never seen before? You know, like, meeting them for the first time during my wedding is diabolical, but so many people do this. So then I thought about, you know, back when I was interested in having a traditional wedding, I was like, all right, let's get on the list. Who would I invite? So I'm going down the list, I'm thinking, wait, some of these people are single. How are they gonna feel at a wedding where they don't know anybody probably? Because, you know, his friends are all in New York City. You know, they're all finance bros up there. No one's really on the West Coast. And out of all my girlfriends, only like 2 of them, well, close people, 2 of them are in relationships, but I'm like, would they actually travel? I don't know. It just sounded like a chore. You know, the whole vibes around a big wedding. It's kind of like Disney World to some people. They're like, it's gonna be the most magical day ever. This is the best day of my life, and I'm never gonna forget it. I'm gonna be shedding tears, and oh golly gee, like, shiver me timbers. This is the greatest day of my life. Like, I will die if I don't get my dream wedding. If I don't get the dress I want, I'll burn this place down. You're giving like adult Disney vibes. Like, I love Disney. I love it. I used to be an annual pass holder. But then you grow up and you realize not everything's a fairy tale. This is real life. Like, I'm very fortunate and lucky to have someone who understands this too, because it would be a hot mess if I was marrying into the type of family that like demands to have a big wedding, or, you know, there's the parents that are like, here's a check for like $100,000. By the way, we're planning every little thing. That is how I feel about wedding culture. I just had to keep it real with you all. Like, I am so happy, clearly, to be engaged. But what I'm really happy about is God's plan working out for me. I didn't believe in it at first, and I wanted to be married ideally when I was like 24. And again, thank God I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know anything. I wouldn't even have this channel right now. I had a totally different life, different job. And before I let you all go, I wanted to debunk one thing. You do not have to earn a man's love, at least not from a real man. Because so many people were commenting on the other channel saying, sis, when's it gonna be my turn? When will I meet my guy? How did you meet him? Like, what did you do to get this? Like, how did you acquire this? I didn't have to literally do anything because it was in God's plan for me. God does not give divine favor to people because you did this and that. You know, it's very virtuous to be like, well, you know, I do say, like, yeah, I worked out more. I invested in my appearance. Not today with my eyebrows, but I was getting my eyebrows done. I was finding things that are best for my facial shape. Like, in general, I want to be more attractive, you know, and I cut my hair shorter because I think it suits my face shape, and I move around. Sometimes it is your city. I always say this, you know, but that's just putting the odds in my favor. You don't have to earn a man's love. You're not supposed to. You know, it's supposed to be easy. That's what it is. It's easy. I have to go now. I have to go. But this was fun. I enjoyed catching up with you all. And I must go to Pilates now. But this was so nice to catch up.